Hello, it's Sheila, the Grateful Goddess, and I have a question for you. Do you deny yourself things you really want because they're not a need? I ask this because I've been guilty of it myself. It's one of those things where I put a little bit of judgment over things that I want that may feel like a luxury or it's not a need. You know, you have Maslow's hierarchy of needs where we first need to feel safe and secure, and then we need food and water and all these different things in order to be at peace. And yet somehow in my subconscious, that sort of registered that things that are just simply desires, things that are wants, have some sort of negative connotation to it. Like, we shouldn't necessarily want what we want. Well, if this is applying to you, then I'd like to help you reframe that in a different new light. So, I would say that your desires and your wants are actually your soul's calling, and that you've been sort of given this want and desire to pull you forward, and that it may actually be beneficial to your spiritual growth. So one morning in the last few weeks, I woke up to this thought, and the thought was, give your car to your daughter. And I was like, but why? So Spirit oftentimes needs to do that for me. Like, if my higher self needs to speak to me, it will wake me up with a clear, direct thought. And the thought, give your car to Kate. And even though I know that that was a divine message, I still found myself arguing with it. Like, well, what if she doesn't really want it? What if it's going to burden her? What if it's the wrong decision? I was really planning to get a new car eventually, but this one will do for another year or so, and then I'll get my new car. Do you find yourself postponing greater happiness and joy for a later date? Like, I'll give that to myself later. And it's really a way to self-sabotage what we're really capable of and what is deserving. And so I realized that when I did that, I was arguing with divine, and that I needed to stop it and not need to know why I needed to give my car to Kate, but just simply give my car to Kate and start looking for a new one. Well, as I was in the shopping process, I ended up test driving a Tesla. Oh my gosh. So, ordered it. Now I've got it. It's amazing. And I realized that I was seeing it as a superficial want rather than a need for a Tesla. And when in reality, if I shift my perspective, it is reprogramming my brain. Number one, reprogramming my brain that I am worthy and deserving of nice things. You see, I have an old childhood memory of being imprinted in my brain that I'm not worthy of nice things, that everyone else around me is worthy of nice things, but not me. So it's time for me to rewrite that story and imprint on my brain and my subconscious a new belief that I am worthy and I am deserving of really nice things. Second, I wanted to shift my relationship with technology. and it is, I have had issues with technology over the last, if you know me, you know I have, and I am ready to rewrite that story and to know that technology is always working in my favor and that it helps me live my life with ease and grace, and that it provides me more efficiency and more prosperity. And it also goes into a level of trust that I have not had before. I oftentimes will not be receptive to receiving help with things. And it's funny that I want the control, you know, control freak, that I want control as opposed to trusting that there is a higher source that can see more than I can see and knows what is the safe route for me to take. So embracing technology, trusting that there are answers beyond what I can physically see. And let's see, was there one more? Oh, I just want to shift my generosity. I have really not seen myself as a very generous person, and I keep saying that I'm going to be more generous in the future. When I achieve some arbitrary level of success, then I will start being really generous, as opposed to yet started now. That applies to whatever you are postponing today for future joy, future happiness, because you think I can get by for now. And once I do this or that, then I will have my happiness, or I will treat myself, or I will be more generous, or I will be whatever, fill in the blank. So I hope you've enjoyed what I have seen as my spiritual growth and lessons from realizing that I am deserving of nice things. And I gotta tell you, if it isn't that I needed a Tesla, I certainly wanted one. And I believe the environment needs the Tesla. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, please drop me a note. Love you all. Mwah.